Justin Jefferson just got $110 million guaranteed.
Pretty good.
So good for him. Good for him, dude.
Great for him.
Let's go.
Good sec. A record deal. The Vikings aimed 3-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Justin Jefferson reached an agreement on a 4-year, $140 million, $110 million guaranteed, highest non-paid quarterback in NFL history. Jefferson's deal includes $88.743 million due at signing. Holy shit.
So much.
Good negotiating, Ben. The highest non-quarterback guarantee at signing in NFL history, and it resets the wide receiver market. Now, remember, signing bonuses can be allotted throughout the duration of the entire contract as opposed to just being parked on one particular year. So this was them getting ahead of the whole kick the can down the road narrative with a signing bonus that big. 88 of 110 due today or yesterday. Congrats to Congrats to Justin.
Crush.
And congrats to Uncle Sam.
Yep.
Congrats to Uncle Sam. Picking up a nice $44 million on one swift swoop. But Justin Jefferson's different, AJ. This is obviously the plan, and I'm excited that another wideout got another big payday.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that you had to find a way to keep him there. No matter who they threw in at quarterback, whatever the injury situation may be, Justin Jefferson, he just always seems to produce. And he seems to do all the right things on and off the field as well. So this is a no-brainer. But who's next in line now? Is there anyone out there? Jamar, obviously. Is he next? Like, what are we doing?
Jamar, CD, Tyreek, allegedly. Brandon Ayuk, potentially a whole other combo, because remember, they're thinking, can we go with both him and everybody else that we have? They just drafted old buddy out of Florida. Pierce Hall or whatever. So it's like.
Free-signed Jennings, too, out there.
Oh, yeah, Jawan.
Jennings, yeah.
Hey, he's
Oh, yeah.
Jawan Jennings, massive piece of that entire run game out there in San Francisco. So there's like five guys around the league that are like waiting on that. And I bet Justin Jefferson was trying to get those guys to get their deals done before him. But now the one who's setting the table, it gets it done. Now everybody else can kind of fall in wherever they deem fit.
Well, and a lot of the fodder after this, too, was like, man, the Colts nailed their signing. Like, they got Pittman so early, and they were also referencing
27?
Oh, yeah, something like that. But
27 average a year.
Now it's like the best bargain in the NFL because of all the deals that have come after. Amon-Ra, obviously, and now this massive one that reset the whole thing.
Pittman was able to do some farming with that. He's A-okay. He'll show up to work, do all the right things, which we absolutely love. But Tyreek Hill is the one everybody's kind of asking about because, you know, him and Justin Jefferson arguably, you know, and then Devontae Adams is like, wait a minute, just because we don't have a quarterback out here, let's not leave me out of this conversation. But Tyreek's deal was reported differently than what it actually was, which never happens with journalism.
Never, no.
Never wrong on that type of stuff, including our deal. Including our, you know, like journalism never gets that wrong. So maybe Tyreek's pissed. Maybe he gets a new deal done. Maybe he understands Tua has to get done. CD Lamb, are they paying Dak? I mean, there is so many. Jamar, everything has so many questions to it. We chatted a little bit about Justin Jefferson in a deal that he signed, but D-Butch actually dove a little bit deeper into the film to tell us why he got the deal that he got. Why is Justin Jefferson different than everybody else? It feels like the natural conversation is he's the best in the game. D-But, is that accurate, and why is that the case?
You know, I'm a big Tyreek Hill fan just for how he changed the game, but Justin Jefferson, it could be 1A, 1B with either one of these guys. We got a few plays here that kind of shows that, illustrates that to even the average casual fan. So right here, he's in the slot. So obviously we have a dynamic receiver right now. It'll be a better show in the replay. You're going to play a lot of zone coverage. Don't want to be in man a ton, but he has the breakaway speed. He has the savviness, the patience in his route. He understands zones coverages. So once he gets to the top of his route, he's going to be patient and not run too fast into that other linebacker coming across the field, catches that, splits the safety, takes it to the house. This is one element of his game. Sometimes that's the only element of some receivers' game. For the next play, we got him now in. So kind of like a two-man coverage. So now as that slot corner, your responsibility is to break on the underneath routes, the intermediate routes. You have over-the-top help with safety. So you see the slot corner, boom, but he sets him up, outside break, goes inside, leaves him lost in the sauce, and then once again catches that ball and does something with it. In this final play, once again, just shows kind of his full thing. So now he's on the outside. That was him doing damage on the inside the last two plays. Now he's on the outside. Quarters coverage. So as a corner, it's your responsibility to maintain that outside leverage. Try and use your inside help from the safety. You see that corner right there to the left. You want to stay outside. He stems them and then break. Bad ball. You know, he played with a ton of quarterbacks last year. We playing with a young quarterback. We expect at some point this season and going forward with J.J. McCarthy being the future there. So he's a guy that not only needs the perfect ball or the perfect offense or the perfect player route called, you can always throw it up to 18. Remember that great play he made against Buffalo, fourth and the bus route. He went up against Detroit a couple times last season as well, did that same thing. So he's a guy, regardless who you have at quarterback, he's going to be the focal point of that offense.
Yeah, and great work, by the way. But the thought that he's going to deal with Sam Darnold or JJ over his next couple of years probably added into the I'm going to need at least
escalator
15, 20 more guaranteed here at the beginning. Well, the reason why we got to go with these guys is because if we pay you, we can't pay a quarterback. Well, that's not money.
Nope.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I don't know.
So you drafted one.
I don't know how to tell you this. J.J. McCarthy, by all accounts, a guy. Sam Darnold can spin it. Kevin O'Connell could draw plays to get him the ball. He has all those highlights you just showed. He is the one in the team meeting room leading into, we need to stop this guy.
Every time, every week.
We need to stop this guy. Let's make sure we have at least 4 eyes on this guy. And if we have a one-eyed guy, why not toss him in there? Let's have 5 eyes on this guy every single play. And then he, on multiple occasions, had over 100 yards in the first half. He had 180 yards at one point in the first half. He is the focal point of every single defense going in every single week. So if Kevin O'Connell can continue to draw up plays to keep him involved early, get him the rock, and Sam Darnold can make the throws, you can allow JJ to develop. You can still have success. And hopefully in a stacked NFC North, the Vikings throw their name into the ring to maybe be the leaders of the North.
Whoa.
Justin Jefferson signs a massive $110 million guaranteed deal with the Minnesota Vikings. We all kind of assumed this was going to take place when they decided to move on from Kirk Cousins. Well, they got to pay Justin Jefferson. There isn't enough money to go around. How long did this take? How'd they get to this number? And obviously everybody's jacked up about this in Minnesota.
You know what's amazing about this, Pat, is the day before the season last year, the Saturday at about 5 o'clock Eastern, I remember getting a call that the deal was about to get done. Wrote up the story, was waiting for Justin to accept the deal. It was going to pay him $28 million per year. And then he decided, to the surprise of the Vikings, not to take the deal right on the eve of the season and to bet on himself and play it out. I think they thought he was taking it. I thought he was taking it. He was really the only one who decided not to do this and to go play the full season and forego the $28 million per year average that he would have gotten at about 5 o'clock Eastern the day before the season opened last year. And so he didn't take that deal. They were talking throughout the course of this offseason, and obviously it had been a process that had been ongoing, I really think, since free agency. And there had been various starts and stops to this deal to the point where other teams thought, well, maybe we could jump in and try to pry loose Justin Jefferson. Let's call the Vikings and make a big offer. And there were teams that reached out to the Vikings only to have the Vikings tell them in no uncertain terms, no, there's no chance we're dealing the best wide receiver in the National Football League. Never entertained the idea, never let those talks advance beyond the initial call that team placed to them. And obviously, they were getting close to finalizing the deal late last week, finalized it over the weekend. And now the agreement is official, and he becomes the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history, resets the wide receiver market. Big deal for Justin Jefferson. He is the best wide receiver in the league, and he's being paid like it now.
And he seemingly, we knew this was coming since day one he entered the NFL. An absolute stud, literally from the beginning of his NFL career. There was some chatter from Mike Florio and the Pioneer Press that potentially on draft night they were thinking about trading him to get a pick higher, to get Malik Neighbors. I think what you're saying, what a lot of people are saying, is that was never going to come to fruition. They're building their team pretty much around Justin Jefferson. Is that kind of the way you're being told the story?
Pat, I can tell you there were teams that called in and said, any interest in trading Justin Jefferson? And the team was told no. So if those are trade talks, then those are trade talks. But those are, as far as those conversations went, where another team reached out to see if there was any way that they could entice the Vikings to trade Justin Jefferson. And the Vikings never even considered it. So it never went anywhere, those talks at all. Justin Jefferson was staying in Minnesota. And the fact that the deal gets done today only cements that.
Okay, let's talk quickly, because I know you're in the middle of a golf round here at Bulls Ridge. Kent. How are we playing? We hitting the ball well?
The course record is safe today, Pat.
Damn. Thought you were going to get it. Thought you were going to get it. Justin Jefferson gets a record-breaking deal. You break a record on Bulls Bridge up there in Connecticut. Tyreek Hill now, all eyes are on. They got Tua's deal still to try to figure out, but every deal that happens in the wide receiver market obviously bumps Tyreek Hill down, and he's the guy that was on pace to potentially have 2,000 yards receiving last year. What does this mean for Tyreek Hill, Drew Rosenhaus, the Miami Dolphins going forward?
Well, I think that the Dolphins are going to figure out a way to adjust Tyreek Hill's deal. Now, I don't know if they're going to tear up the deal and give him a whole new deal, but I think that that deal will get adjusted and that Tyreek Hill will wind up getting additional benefits, concessions, salaries, money from the Dolphins to bring him further in line to the receiver that he is. I think that the Dolphins know that that's coming. They obviously took care of Jalen Waddle, knowing that they'll also have to take care of Tyreek Hill. You remember the Philadelphia Eagles in the span of a week getting done both Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown, knowing that Justin Jefferson was coming on this deal, and basically that deal gets done. And I think that the Eagles got 2 receiver deals done, and now the Dolphins know that they're in a position that they'll be able to get 2 receiver deals done with Tyreek Hill next.
That's sweet. Let's stay in the wide receiver market. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, what about CeeDee Lamb, Shefty? Obviously, when you put his stats up to Justin Jefferson's, they're pretty similar, but then they also have Micah Parsons and Dak. What does this deal mean for him?
You know, Jerry Jones made a reference earlier this offseason to the fact that the Cowboys wanted to get a deal done with CeeDee Lamb, but CeeDee Lamb was in no rush to get that deal done. And the reason that CeeDee Lamb wasn't in any rush to get a deal done was because of the deal today. Well, the deal today is now done. And if you look at their numbers side by side, yes, CeeDee Lamb played more games due to Justin Jefferson's injuries, but the numbers are comparable. Do I think CeeDee Lamb is as good as Justin Jefferson? No. Do I think he's going to get that contract? No. But how far south of Justin Jefferson is CeeDee Lamb going to get? And I think that's why he was waiting for this deal to come in. $35 million a year average, $110 million in guarantees. I think all of us could sit here today and debate what we think the value of CeeDee Lamb should and would be. And again, I think we'd all agree it would be south of Justin Jefferson, but how much south? And that's the question. And that's now left up to CeeDee Lamb and the Dallas Cowboys to go figure out.
Conman's got a question for you, Shefty.
Yeah, Shefty, are we approaching a time where receivers might get a Mahomes-like deal? Like, is there a chance that because these contracts are so massive and there's only, most of them have been 3 to 4 years, that there might come a time where a 10-year, $300 million, whatever you want to call it, deal might get made for wide receivers so that these teams don't just get absolutely slaughtered in the cap?
Well, I just think the money on these wide receivers is going up and up and up. And if you are a receiver like a Marvin Harrison Jr. or Malik Neighbors, and you see what's going on, I can't tell you how dedicated I would be to making sure that I maximized my potential and got everything I could out of my abilities, because the money is all there. And I think the money question as it pertains to other positions is more along the lines of look at what a wide receiver is now being paid compared to what a running back is being paid. Wide receiver salaries have doubled running back salaries, showing you where the emphasis of the game is today. I don't believe that a wide receiver is going to catch a quarterback. A top wide receiver catches a top quarterback anytime soon, because quarterbacks always have been the highest paid players. They will continue to be the highest paid players. But where I think the difference really is right now is look at what the top wide receivers are being paid and look at what the top running backs are being paid. And the top wide receivers are now doubling the top running backs.
It's wild. And, some people are calling for a potential future, bust of the wide receiver market like Warren Buffett had today in the stock market. I don't know if you've seen what's happening. Down 99%. Warren Buffett, I believe it's a glitch. It has to be a glitch.
Can't report it has been fixed.
Okay. Hey, congrats, Warren Buffett.
Whoa. Scary times.
That happened this morning. But they're saying the wide receiver market potentially does that with how good the young wide receivers are. So Justin Jefferson getting this deal, obviously well-deserved, well-earned. But who knows what the next couple of years say with how great these young wide receivers are, because how many of them can get that? There has to be some sort of leveling out at some point. Last question here from D-Butts for you, Shefty.
We need the corners to kind of close that gap, in my opinion. But speaking of the guaranteed, obviously we saw 110 guaranteed. What's the actual breakdown of what's fully guaranteed versus injury, or do you have that information yet?
Well, first of all, when you have 110 on 150, you know it's huge. I know that there was 88 due at signing. So 88 million due at signing. I mean, I don't know whether that's signing bonus or whether they're counting the salary this year. I don't have the full breakdown, but somewhere between 88 and 110. 110 is the guarantee. 88 due today or whenever he signs. So Ziggy and Mark Wilf are cutting a big check to Justin Jefferson. Here's the bottom line. If Justin Jefferson's smart about all this, the children of his children's children are set up for life here today. And that's the most important part. He worked for it. He earned it. He deserves it. And we're happy for Justin Jefferson.